At the Hugley Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Hugley Law Group is here for you. The Hugley Law Group is here for us.
The Hugley Law Group, serious legal representation.
Navigating through this spiritual journey is challenging. Healers need healers, trainers need trainers, and leaders need leaders too. If you're looking for a space that offers Reiki healing, emotional mastery, chakra healing, and even one-on-one spiritual consultation, visit us at todayswellness.com. Get all your spiritual needs met and just have someone you can actually talk to. Because whatever it is that you are seeking is also within you.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful, hot day. I mean, it's a beautiful day, but it's hot here in Atlanta. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Again, share and subscribe and hit that like button. I will greatly appreciate it. And don't be afraid to Cash App either. Cash App, Super Chat. Sorry, guys, I'm opening up something. Cash App, Super Chats, all that good stuff. You know, don't be afraid to do that. But anyways, it is Thursday. College football started last Saturday, and we saw Georgia Tech beat Florida State. But, you know, Colorado plays today, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, tonight, they play tonight. I'm looking forward to that game tonight. Colorado is playing, who does Colorado play? I think like North Dakota State. So they got to, but hey, you never know. Any given Saturday, Sunday, whatever you want to call it, you never know what can happen. So we got that going on tonight. So I'm looking forward to watching that. So before we jump into today's topics, got a couple of announcements. We are rolling to Benin Republic. That's going to be January 3rd through the 12th. January 3rd through the 12th, we're rolling to Benin Republic. So please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Once again, we're rolling to Benin Republic. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. We will love to have you all. We're going to have a great time. We're also rolling to Zanzibar next month. I got a spot. The spot just opened up. So if you're interested in rolling to Zanzibar with us, if you're like, Dynas, I want to get away. I want to enjoy white sand beaches and blue water and eat good seafood. Hey, come enroll. Again, come enroll. Please visit Donfo, DANFO. Let me try something out. You know, they have this new, I don't know what to call it. There we go. I could make myself a circle now. Can I drag myself too? Can I drag myself? No, I can't drag myself. So I can make my, the little picture layout. You can change the shapes now. But I can't drag, the circle and move it around. I mean, I could do that. That's about it. But that's cool. We gonna work with it. So please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. And also, any day now, they should be announcing. AJ, I did. Shout out to AJ. AJ, I figured out how to work my drone. So AJ came to Zanzibar with me. He was also with me in Senegal. And I bought this new drone, this DJ Mini Pro 4 something. And I couldn't figure it out. Like to calibrate it, whatever you want to call it. But when I brought it back here to America, like you have to be, in order to get it working correctly, you have to be like in an open space, like wide open space, nothing obstructing The drone has to be. So I went to an empty parking lot and got it working. But I didn't use it in Nigeria. And in fact, I was going to use it when I went to Abuja. But what happened, they wouldn't let me fly with it, which was a whole nother story. So yeah, but I will definitely be using the drone in Zanzibar and moving forward. But we got the drone working. Shout out to AJ, who was a Donfo OG. So if you've been on 3 trips or more with Donfo, you are a Donfo OG. So that's the only term. That's the term I could really think of. OG, Donfo OG. How's that sound, guys? Donfo OG. How's that sound? That sound cool? Like y'all want to be Donfo OGs? But anyways, go to donfo.africa to learn more. Also, the citizenship ceremony for Sierra Leone, that should be announced any day now. Again, that should be announced any day now. So please visit donfo.africa. Looking forward to that. Yeah, looking forward to that. Another group getting their passports. Another group getting their passports. So I'm looking forward to that, guys. They're going to make the requirements harder. Somebody said, "What happened to Go Back to Africa's YouTube channel?" Did something happen to his channel? I don't know. I haven't heard how that Go Black in a minute. Did something happen to his channel? No, he's still here. Go Black is still around. He hasn't been as active, but he's still around. Hopefully the brother's okay. I'm not doing a group trip to Rwanda anytime soon. It's weird, like all the places that I'm not going, y'all be wanting me to go. And see, the reason why, like, so you're asking, when are you doing a group trip to Rwanda? It'd be like, there's people who say, "Hey, Dynus, if you go here, I'll make sure I come. Then I'll go there, and then y'all don't be coming." So I take this back one line. If you get 10 people together and you want to roll to Rwanda, I'll make it happen. But Rwanda, guys, nothing against Rwanda. I've never been. So I need to be very careful about what I'm going to say. Rwanda just seems very boring to me. Like if I'm old and I'm retired and I just want to chill and I just want quiet, I'll go to Rwanda. That's what Rwanda looks like to me. And just talking to people who are in Rwanda, that's just, it's Rwanda. I'm a Nigerian cat. I need excitement. Then if I need to go to the village, I can go to the village. But Rwanda is like a place where I would send my mother, who's retired, who just wants to chill. You said find lots of beauty. You can find beauty anywhere. Somebody here goes like, "Well, Rwanda is boring, and that's the appeal." That's what I'm saying. Like, like I said, if my mom was like, "Listen, I want to go to Africa. I want to retire. I'm retired. I want to chill. I just want to chill." Okay, let's go to Rwanda. That just seems like Rwanda. If you ask me, and Flex Step just confirmed. Rwanda is boring, and that's the appeal. It wants to be a stable place to do business. Yeah, I'm good. I would say Rwanda would probably be a better fit than Gambia, though. Like, I would rather go to Rwanda than Gambia. Because same thing with Gambia. Gambia, small country, you know. Like, I think people who go to Gambia will be better off in Rwanda. Because it's like what they're looking for in the Gambia, they can find in Rwanda. But in Rwanda, it's more stable. There you go. Yeah, and like I tell people, not to be biased, I love my Central African peoples. I love my South African peoples. I love my East African peoples. But I'm a West Africa cat. I gotta have I'm living in West Africa. I mean, I prefer to visit West Africa because there's a lot of countries in West Africa that, as a company, we haven't touched yet. Like we'll do Zanzibar. Yeah, I mean, hey, do you? That's Rwanda's appeal. That's Rwanda's approach. And hey, go for it. That works for Rwanda. That's what, it's a fit for somebody. It's just not a fit for me. That's what I'm saying. Rwanda has zero tolerance for scamming. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Rwanda is a more stable country where you could go. It seems like you ain't got to deal with the BS. Everything seems like it's straightforward. I've never heard any people who moved to Rwanda. I've never heard them really say anything negative about Rwanda. But it's just Rwanda. I would need to visit first. But the answer is, visiting Rwanda is not a priority of mine. I would just say that. Again, visiting Rwanda is not a priority of mine anytime soon. I'm more of a West Africa guy. I do want to visit the Congo and hit up Angola, and I love Namibia. Got to get back to Namibia. Not really a big fan of South Africa, but I do want to give South Africa one more shot. But yeah, but hopefully all that makes sense. All right, let's jump into today's topic. I want to start off with the illegals taking over this apartment complex. I want to start off with these illegals taking over this apartment complex. And if you notice, a lot of people are quiet on this. And this is in Colorado. And they have pulled you remember New Jack City? What was New Jack City? Star Trek 9? What was the spaceship? What did Nino Brown, what did they call that crack house? What was the name of the crack house in New Jack City? Nino Brown's crack house? This is why. Okay, now they want to do something. But this is like, how does this happen? And when I thought about this in regards to what they're doing, I thought about it wasn't called the Carter. It was called like Star Trek Enterprise or something. In New Jack City? No, I thought it was Star Trek Enterprise or something. Because you get to go in there and Pookie was going up in there and getting high. Or was that the nickname of the nickname? So the Carter, then the nickname was Star Trek Enterprise, because I remember Pookie was up in there getting high. Yeah, the drugstore was called the Enterprise. Okay. So the drugstore inside the Carter was called the Enterprise. But the name of the building was the Carter. Fair use. Fair use. But this is what's going on, and this is embarrassing.
All right, I would like to welcome in now the mayor of the city where this happened, Aurora, Colorado Mayor Mike Kaufman. Mayor, thank you so much for your time. It's one thing for the people who don't live in the city of Aurora to see the video. You live there. You are the mayor there. What is your reaction to this surveillance video?
Well, I mean, it's a real concern. We've got several properties that have a concentration of Venezuelan migrants in them, and unfortunately, there's a criminal element, Venezuelan, that is followed in those three, what we believe are three buildings, several buildings. And so, but I want to put this in context. We are the 51st largest city in the United States with over 400,000 in population. And this is several apartment units, all under the same ownership, out-of-state owner that has allowed these properties to run down. And so we've got a concerted law enforcement effort right now. I think some of the people that you're seeing in this video have already been apprehended. We've got our own police force combined with state and federal partners working not just in Aurora, but throughout the Denver metro area to try to get these people off the street. It's a problem, and quite frankly, it stems from the border. When you've had waves of Venezuelan migrants come, you know, God bless them, a third of the population is left due to a failed socialist dictatorship, and so a failed government. And so but there's just not the vetting process at the border, and I don't believe that Venezuela cooperates with us in the sharing of criminal records for their population. And so, you know, people are allowed to cross the border illegally. They're arrested. They declare political asylum. They're given humanitarian parole. You know, come in to the country.
Yeah.
And so that it's a real challenge for us. But in these several apartment complexes, we are cleaning them out.
Cleaning them out. Yeah, and I do want to note here that Aurora police say the gang activity is isolated. We know Denver police are denying these apartment takeovers, and we certainly do not want to categorize all migrants as being criminals. But from your perspective, you know, what is happening in your town when it comes to the crime, the criminal element that we're seeing, and what is being done to stop it? You say that you're cleaning them out. What does that actually mean?
Well, it's a law enforcement approach. It's a little challenging because a lot of the people are, particularly there's a concentration of Venezuelan migrants in these complexes. They're intimidated in terms of stepping forward.
Oh man, dude, come on, come on. These people aren't serious. These people aren't serious. So you have illegal migrant gangs taking over apartment complexes, and just listen to the excuses.
But we've got an aggressive approach to root them out, and we're certainly doing that. But you know, we can't afford to surrender any part of the city, even though it's in isolated pockets to, you know, any criminal element. And so we're you know, aggressive on it. I think that there's so much criminality, unfortunately, in Venezuela, given the fact that the police force is there to defend the Maduro government against its opposition, as opposed to defending the people against crime. And so there's just it's a sad component of the culture that this element exists, and it's followed the migrants up, and you know, with that they've come here.
You know, and Mayor, where do you think the blame lies for this, you know, what is now a local problem Do you feel this does stem from a national problem? Is this something separate? Is it a combination of multiple things?
Absolutely, it's a federal problem. I mean, Aurora, Aurora has not been a sanctuary city historically. Denver has. The governor of Texas, targeted, I think, Denver in terms of dropping off migrants there. Aurora took the position that this is a federal problem. It's not the city of Aurora problem. We will not expend tax resources on migrants, nor will we be a conduit for federal dollars. And yet here they are. And so I'm trying to walk it back and see, how did they get here? Somebody's funding them. I'm going to be going to our nonprofits and saying, were you a conduit for federal dollars and in concentrating these migrants in these in several of these buildings, these complexes? Yeah, we inherited a problem. That is not ours, but is now, but now we're sharing in it. And so it's really disappointing. But when you have a policy, in a federal policy, that somebody could walk across the border illegally, get arrested, declare political asylum, get humanitarian parole, and released in the country pending their court date, which could be a long ways out.
Yeah.
And then to make matters worse, the problem actually goes beyond this gang problem, because desperate people do desperate things, and these migrants have 6 months before they can apply for a work permit.
Right. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen.
Woe is me, woe is me. Oh, 6 months to get a job. And look at the excuses they're making for these people. So taking over whole apartment complexes and just listen to the excuses. But you guys remember Move out of Philadelphia, the Move organization out out of Philadelphia? So you destabilize a country, allegedly. That country then comes. So you're justifying. So basically, you're justifying this because USA destabilized Venezuela, and so you're justifying this. So this is America's fault. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation early, you can. Link is in the chat room. But explain how this is America's fault. Once again, I want you to explain how this is the United States of America's fault. What we're just seeing right now. I want you to explain how illegal immigrants getting debit cards with thousands of dollars on them and not the everyday U.S. citizen is the United States of America's fault. Foreign policy drove them here. You know, the United States of America isn't the only so-called stable country in the West. That's why I'm not buying it. That's why I'm no longer buying the foreign policy argument. It's not the only so-called stable country in the West. Hell, you got Canada. You have some countries in the Caribbean. You got Ecuador. You got Uruguay. I mean, you have a number of countries that are stable. Argentina. So there are several countries in South America that are so-called that are stable that they could go to, but they're going to come to America. And the argument is America's foreign policy. I'm not buying that foreign policy argument anymore. Stability doesn't equal money. These are poor people. Okay, I hear you. Go ahead. Come out, Fadi. Hello? Can't hear you. Hey, when you guys call in, make sure you got your phones working and come out, Fadi. You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was referring to is the fact that it was the United States that wanted Venezuela oil, so they destabilized the country, had coups. Nobody wants to leave their country. They would prefer to stay there. That's why you're seeing a lot of these people coming up, is because a lot of the United States destabilizing countries. It was all about the oil. Trump even bragged about it. Now, as far as your debit card situation, that has nothing to do with the Venezuela people. I totally disagree with that. But part of the problem is the United States destabilizing countries. There's just no doubt about that, especially when it's south of the border.
But why? But are there not other so-called stable countries to go to outside of America?
They see the United States as the promised land. So even though the United States has destabilized their country, they still see the United States as the land of opportunity.
Okay. Okay.
So
when I hear people justifying what's going on because of America destabilizing their country, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
well, that's not what I said, was not justifying what's going on. I'm just giving an explanation of why they're leaving their country. I mean, your country has been torn through. The whole purpose of sanctions is to hurt the people, to get the people to revolt against the government, to overthrow it, so the United States can enact regime change. When you look at sanctions, sanctions are the equivalent of going to war without dropping bombs. They do it through economic means.
Okay, no, makes sense. Makes sense. Guys, links in the chat room. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, click on the link. If you want to call in after the conversation, click on the link. Diane says America has destroyed several countries. What's the point? Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with Move, and so then the Move movement was in Philadelphia, and remember they got bombed by the U.S. government. And you just see the U.S. government using kitty gloves on migrants like this. But when it comes to its own citizens, we got bombed. You know, and that's the double standard that I'm speaking on. Like, I think this is the only time the U.S. government has bombed. Now they say Tulsa, Oklahoma, but for sure, the U.S. government bombed the Move compound. In fact, let's watch the video and clear the whole block.
The first thing you do when you get in a car is a simple step that could save your life. What's the first thing you do when
Black community? Because the Black community doesn't hold the candidates accountable. the Black community gives away their vote. So I disagree. So there's this empathy for these illegal migrants, but when it came to the movement, I'll just drop a bomb on them. All right, let's jump to DL Hughley versus Umar Johnson. I wanted that debate needs to happen. That debate needs to happen. And DL was talking trash. I'll debate you at the gymnasium auditorium at your school. Umar said, let's do it. I'm waiting for DL to respond. That debate needs to happen. Guys, no matter how you feel about Umar Johnson is gonna wipe the floor with Roland Martin. He'll wipe the floor with Steve Harvey. He'll wipe the floor with DL Hughley. Debate needs to happen. Don't be scared now, DL. Don't be scared now, DL. Don't be scared now, DL.
For the first time, kickoff weekend has a Friday.
Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Alva. In a surprise turn of events, DL Hughley has accepted Dr. Umar Johnson's challenge for live debate. Now, if you remember earlier this week, Johnson will publicly challenge Hughley, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley to a live political debate stemming from Hughley's latest endorsement of 2024 Democratic presidential nominee, Kamala Harris. According to Johnson, the three comedians have been paid by Harris's team for the support, which they have denied. Johnson had also invited Roland Martin to the debate as well.
I want a television debate with Steve Harvey, DL Hughley, Ricky Smiley versus Dr. Umar Ifa-Tunde. Is the Democratic Party the party of African people? Roland Martin can join in too. Somebody get Steve Harvey on the phone. Somebody get DL Hughley on the phone. Somebody get Ricky Smiley. Dr. Umar wants to come on y'all show and debate you 3-on-1. And if y'all need Roland to help you out, Roland can come too. We can make it 4-on-1. Let's call it the Kings of Comedy versus King Kong Consciousness. I'm ready right now. Intellectual Ifa-Tunde is ready right now.
Yesterday on Instagram, Hughley would announce his acceptance of Johnson's challenge. However, before Hughley steps up to the plate, he would throw in one condition. On Instagram, he would write, I accept Umar's challenge to a debate under one simple small condition. We have it live in the auditorium of his school. Me and my cornrows will be waiting. Of course, Hughley wanting the debate to take place at Johnson's school is a jab towards the outspoken figure and his long-rumored school for Black boys that is yet to open amid several setbacks and struggles. Several social media users will point this out, with one user writing, his school he promised to build and never did, while taking millions of dollars from Black people. Another social media user would agree and write, a lot of people are missing the joke about his school that he don't have. Veteran comedian Arsenio Hall would even catch wind of Hughley's post and commented, bam, way to research your target, touche. In addition, comedy hype analyst Marvin Hunter would also chime in, how about them apples? Now, in response to Hughley's acceptance, Johnson would create a post of his own, attempting to iron out the details of the potential upcoming debate. On Instagram, Johnson would directly address Hughley by writing,
Good Garvey Day. Brother D.L. Hughley, yesterday you publicly accepted a debate with political scientist, psychologist, Pan-Africanist Dr. Umar Ifa-Tunde on the condition that it be held inside of FDMG's auditorium. And given that the DeSalimnes Turner Gymatorium has been completely renovated for several years now, we can most definitely proceed with the debate immediately. As I'm sure that you are a man of your word, please provide 3 dates and times that work best for your schedule, from which we will select one so we can move this much anticipated debate forward. Please allow 3 hours for the debate, which will be streamed across the internet for a fee to help us raise funds for the FDMG Academy. On behalf of Black boys from Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, we thank you for agreeing to accept this debate. We await your response. Now, attached to the bottom of the post was a contact number, assuming the number can be used to get in touch with Umar's team. Several social media users under Johnson's comments were on Umar's side and expressed their excitement to see a debate between the two individuals. One user would write, "Now this is how you clear him." DL tried to play Dr. Umar. The good doctor hit him with the Uno reverse. Another social media user on Johnson's page would predict Hugley dropping out. DL is going to back out or make some excuse why he won't do it because you are charging folks. Another social media user would express the same sentiment and agree. He don't really want to debate. He just want to throw a shot at the school him and everybody else don't think exists. Now, it can be assumed that Hugley was joking about the debate, as it's unclear whether or not he thinks Johnson's school is real and accredited. So what do you guys think of DL Hugley accepting Dr. Umar Johnson's challenge for the—
I want to see the debate. I'll pay for the debate. But DL, you can't back out. The auditorium is there. You said nothing about the school being officially open. You just say you got to have it at the school. He has a school. He has an auditorium. When's the debate? Again, when is the debate? Let's do it. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, click on the link. Again, if you want to call in after the conversation, please click on the link. And once again, we are rolling to Zanzibar. We're going back to Zanzibar, rolling to Zanzibar next month. If I have a spot open. All right. So if you're interested in rolling to Zanzibar, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa as well. Citizenship time in Sierra Leone. They have not officially announced it, but it's looking like it's going to be a go for November. Again, it's looking like it's going to be a go for November. So please visit donfo.africa to get the information and get prepared. But it's looking like it's going to be a go for November for citizenship. So looking forward to that. They're going to more than likely make the requirements harder moving forward. But as right now, it's looking like November is going to be a go. We're also rolling to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival. That's going to be January 3rd through the 12th. Back to Sierra Leone in April 20th through the 29th. Then we're going to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. That's going to be June 1st to the 10th. And then back to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That's August 3rd. That's going to be August 3rd to the 12th. So if you're interested in joining us on any of these trips, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa. And link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, please click on the link and you can call in and add your 2 cents. Let's be respectful. All right. All opinions are welcome. Differing opinions are welcome, but let's be respectful, okay, to each other. All right. I'm all for diversity of thought, diversity of opinion, but let's be nice. Again, let's be nice to each other. Please click on the link. If you want to call in, please click on the link. Hold on, somebody just sent me something. What's it?
Roland Mark, you better be careful how you put your mouth on people. Because everybody is looking at you. And everybody's focused on you. Because you serving as a sheep. And that's right.
All right, we'll wait another minute. If nobody calls in, we'll go ahead and close out. All right, links in the chat room. Nobody calls in. We'll go ahead and close out in 30 seconds. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Donnie Samir, search for Huru. Peace.